Hello, I'm Mary Tobin, your 2019 president. We recently returned from the National Association of Realtors legislative meetings held in Washington, D.C. last week. I wanted to provide a recap of the important business that was discussed during the Board of Directors meeting in case you were unable to attend. The Board of Directors voted to approve a 3-year extension of the $35 per member annual special assessment to fund NAR's National Ad Campaign. The extension will continue the campaign through 2022. The board also approved the 2020 NAR budget with no dues increase, as well as a Finance Committee recommendation that NAR return to a 50% reserve requirement of gross operating expense from the current 40%, and that NAR targets a 75% reserve. Membership for 2020 is budgeted at $1.34 million, and annual dues remain at $150. The board also voted to revise the multiple listing service policy so that Realtor Association-owned MLSs may charge participants and subscribers who don't hold primary or secondary membership in the association a different amount from what's charged to association members, provided that any increase is reasonably related to the actual costs of serving those members. Another important topic was access to financial services. A policy was passed supporting states and residents' right to create laws aligned with their interests and to allow businesses that are properly registered and legitimate by state standards to have the ability to access banking services. The policy is a response to concerns that many states are legalizing cannabis use, but anyone engaged in transactions with cannabis-related businesses, including real estate professionals and property managers, are at risk of criminal and civil liability under federal law. And modifications were adopted to the association's housing finance reform principles. The Trump administration has made GSE reform a priority, and NAR supports reforms that align with these principles. Another policy was approved stating that NAR supports prohibitions of housing discrimination against veterans-provided programs, such as VA home loans, that are available only to give preference to veterans, are not violations of the Fair Housing Act. Lastly, a policy was approved stating that NAR opposes the use of excess reserves under the FHA Mutual Mortgage Insurance Fund for purposes other than reducing and/or eliminating the borrower's mortgage insurance premium and/or improving the operations of FHA, so long as it does not negatively affect necessary FHA reserves or artificially increase premiums. National disaster public policy was supported that, among other things, includes post-disaster emergency assistance, but emphasizes pre-disaster planning, preparedness, prevention, and the proactive reduction of risk. Promotes the private insurance market to assume more disaster risk, but does not crowd out private capital or preempt state insurance regulations or programs. Ensures that property insurance rates align with the true specific risk of each individual building, and does not impose more than a nominal assessment, surcharge, or cross-subsidy from some insurance policyholders to others. As you can see, it was a very busy week in Washington, but also important work was accomplished. I hope that you will consider joining us for the NAR Annual Convention in San Francisco in November. More information can be found on the NAR website at nar.realtor. It's a great way for you to learn more about what your national association does for you. Thanks for watching.